before I let him, interrogate me on this stage, I just want to shout out. This means a lot to me. It's my birthday. Gemini season, real ones. This that dragon energy. But no, this really means a lot to me. I really don't, I don't do birthdays because, my best friends died and I spent most of my birthdays with them. So I don't really cherish them as much. But, seeing my peers and it means a lot to me. I'm real emotional. I see the brother Kwandani, my whole family, my mom, my stepfather, you feel me? The brother Al Rogers, Dawee, I see Rags, you feel me? He put me on with Basquiat, he wanted to talk me out of pain. Other than we worked together, and he was always late to work and to relieve me. And I'm like, yo, you supposed to be to work at 11 o'clock. Why you telling me I'm on my way, 11:30? I'm trying to get off. The club's about to let off. I'm just, I see a lot of my peers, and I just want to thank you. It really means a lot to me. This is probably one of the best birthdays that I've had. I see my brother Bernard. Yo, my plants are still alive. I didn't kill the plant that you gave me. I just want to let you know that all you being here and being able to do this on this platform and seeing all these beautiful faces, it really means a lot to me. And for once, dirty 30, and this is the best birthday that I had in so long. I just want to say thank you for coming. Hey, I'm not moody no more. My name is Devin Allen. Let's keep that over West, man. I'm Devin Allen up here.
It's a special night because Rags introduced Devin Allen to Basquiat, and I feel like maybe I introduced Rags to Basquiat. So the universe comes full circle. All of these things are connected. But before we do anything, this is a beautiful crowd. It's a mix. It's like Canton down the hill. I see Latrobe Projects. I see White Lock. This is very interesting to me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Clap it up for yourselves for coming out. Who? South Baltimore. Hey,
we don't go to Cherry Hill. I
got real friends out there.
I want to go down South Baltimore if I'm going to Hollis Markets and Loafers.
Even though Cherry Hill never come on the news. I love Cherry Hill. No, but with love, we're going to have a real conversation about healing tonight. So if you feel like, if you don't like the truth, then you should leave right now and give one of these good people in the back your seats, because Devin Allen tells the truth. He don't care if you like it or if you don't like it. He's going to tell you the things that you need to hear. And this is a conversation we need to have because healing has become like a phony, overused word. So we want to talk about that because I feel like as a black person from this city who works with a lot of different populations, not just here, but in New York and LA and San Francisco and the different places where I do business, I'm always being hit with people telling me, how do you heal? What are you doing to heal? What is self-care? And I just feel like it's been watered down and it takes away from the real healing that we can actually be doing as people. Have you had that experience as a Negro that works with white people? Or did they give you blankets and arugula?
No, they actually give me a double espresso shot to tell me to get over it. But no, it does. What is healing? And what is healing? When have you ever took the time to really think about yourself and your mental state, your spiritual state, and your emotional state? For me, my mother raised me to be, strong, resilient, to survive society, and it got to a point where when I found art, I had to look back at myself. It was like, I was a negative ass person. But I had to be this person. That's how I survived. I had to be tough. I had to be strong. I had to be hyper masculine. I had to be these things to survive. But my mother didn't raise me that way. Society played that part. My mother raised me to be kind, giving, loving, and all these different things. But just being in Baltimore, being around my peers, I had to create Moody, my persona. You feel me? And I started, being so negative where when I was positive, wasn't received the same way. If I was negative, I got more love. So growing up, if I punched you in the face, that made me real. That authenticated me. That made me tough. Hurting someone else made me tough. Then, he a real one. And it got to the point where, as the older as I got, raising a child and moving in different spaces, people don't really understand the fact that you create this. You have to create these systems that you have to, these guidelines, like these layers. I have to carry myself this way so I can survive. Mm-hmm. Now, if you weak, what is weak? Showing them love is weak. If I tell you, like, bro, I like your fit, it's dope. You feel me? Like, you popping, you doing your thing. I appreciate you. That's weak.
But yeah, it's weird because if you don't like something, you're a hater.
Yeah. But if I tell you, if I don't gotta say nothing to you, I can just punch you in your face. Yeah. He go hard, he a real one. Don't say nothing to him. And that's the mechanism that I built, and that's what I became known for. Is like, because I had a Napoleon complex. You see, I'm short, my feet swinging. So I felt like if I punched you, if you.
In your defense, these chairs are tall. But go ahead.
Yeah,
these are tall chairs. Right?
If I punched you, if you approached me, it was a beef. If I punched you instead of hugging you, if I hugged you and said, yo, bro, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, this ain't no beef. I'm weak. I'm fragile. I'm soft.
I think a lot of people who live in this city, and I know a lot of people in the audience can attest to this, it becomes very difficult, but it's easier to attack somebody than it is to say, hey, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because it makes you.
And it didn't hurt. I got hurt by just saying it just now. Like, my feelings not even hurt. It just feels weird.
I still struggle with it when like people show me love, and it's like I'm like,
what do you think that means?
That's when I realized I had anxiety. The fact that when people show me love outside of my family, was like, are you plotting on my life right now? Like, do you want to go? I've been watching too much ID channel and forensic files. So, do you want to throw me in a trunk, slit my throat, to say you killed Devin Allen? I think, that's how I feel. People show me love sometimes, and that's why I was like, oh, that's anxiety. That's what it is.
I think like to be 100% honest and fair as we have this conversation about mental health and about healing, I think we need to acknowledge that it's a constant process. Like, people think it's something that you can sit down, you can go to like 8 yoga classes, you can
shout out to the niece.
you can drink like 4 organic juices and now you're like this completely healed person, and it's not.
Don't forget sparkling water.
And sparkling water, and it's something that just happens. It's not an ongoing process that we have to constantly work on. And I'm saying this to you because I want you to frame it around what we did on this very day last year.
So you hear all the coughs in the back, right? Is my best friend Sharina in the building? Because she got her ass whipped down on the G's. Yeah, my mother been there talking. Yes, we were fighting. This same day, last year, D. Watkins went to jail. I went home with a busted lip. And FMG Dez broke his hand. Fighting because the D. Watkins decide, it's Devin's birthday, so I'm going to throw the most money at all the strippers on a Tuesday. And instead of them saying, you got a lot of money, they thought that they saw me, I had like a little hoodie. I dress different. So I'm in a hood set, and it's like, this dude got skinny jeans on, we can take them. Then I whip their ass. And then it's like, we just was just trying to have a good time.
I got to chime in. It didn't happen. That's not what
D. Watkins went to jail.
So this is what happened. And this is why I say
his wife stole money.
This is why I say that healing is a constant process, because this was a situation
we could have walked away from
that totally could have been avoided. But at the same time, we feel like if we get confronted with some type of conflict, we can't diffuse it in a positive way. We have to go ahead and we gotta match and be bigger than the negative energy that's coming towards us. As a result, it was me, it was Dad. Dad's not here right now, here in New York. It was me, it was Dad.
My birthday?
Yeah, Dad's missed your birthday. He'll make it up. It was me, Dad, it was Kondwani, and it was Devin, and we was at this club called DDL Lounge. And it was like it's a real chill spot. It's like they got an outdoor, like they let us buy like
they let me buy a fifth of Hennessy to myself, and that's when it went down.
So we were celebrating his birthday because like this is our friend. He's an artist. We're artists. Like Des makes music. Kandwani's a poet and a writer. Devin is an award.
And he's a Christian too. He just got baptized. So shout out to Parnell.
Devin is an award winner for look at these beautiful. All these photos was taken before we were fighting last year. So he's an amazing photographer, horrible spoken word artist, but amazing photographer. And we all come together to celebrate his birthday.
This is performance art.
And it was a great night. So it's like midnight, and everyone like, yo, happy birthday, we love you, bro. You know, this is like when we learn how to not be toxic. So we're like, yo, we love you, bro, have a good night. And Devin's like, yo, let's go to one more place.
No, that's a lie. I didn't want to. First of all, before he makes this lie, let's just, all right, so one of my biggest.
Or maybe Kandwani wanted to go to one more.
No, I think Kandwani wanted to go to the strip club. I don't want
I don't want to go to a strip club.
It was not me. Don't go ahead and lie.
But not to get off topic. We went. There was conflict. We confronted the conflict. As a result, we got a busted lip. We got me sitting in a squad car with one of the only cops in Baltimore City. Thank God, that had a fancy for literature, so he let me go. He didn't book me. He could quote lines out my book, but he didn't book me. And then in a busted cell phone. He had to call us for his work phone for like a whole 3 days. So what I'm saying is like now I feel like we're in a place now where that situation would never happen because of the growth that we went through over the year.
And I can be honest with myself. I'm still like, no matter how much I try to demasculate myself, I still have a lot of pride that I don't like to work away from certain situations. So I might still smack somebody if they. It's hard because it's like I'm having this chaotic battle where it's like, Devin, the artist, but yo, like you still like because of I don't know. It's really hard because it's like I want to be an artist. I want to hug you. It's all peace. It's all love. But now if you get aggressive on me.
It's a Gemini. So
yeah,
it's a Gemini. But how do you think you get to a place, or how can you get to a place as a person where you feel like you can be able to ascend above the negativity?
And that's the thing. My mother's amazing. She's in the back. So shout out to my mother, Gail Allen. Look, she got my nephew right there. My mother is irky, facts proven, but she's saying weird stuff that I don't understand as a kid. Like, oh, you need to hang with different friends. All your friends need to be evenly yoked. What does that mean? Like, all my friends need to be evenly yoked. What does that mean?
They all eat egg whites.
No, I want you to go home and try to cut a yolk down the middle. It's very hard. So make that even. It's very difficult. So I need to be more selective about my friends. So what I did, the first thing I did was I removed myself. And the sad thing about it, I didn't have to remove myself. Baltimore killed my friends. I didn't have to remove myself from, peer pressure. Baltimore killed I got my camera in January 2013. My mother was there when I got the call. They killed my best friend, shot 7 times in front of the door. Then I went to go see his mother. I left. So I could take pictures, and they shot my other friend. The same guy shot my other friend in the head. The universe is crazy how it works, but destiny removed my friends so I can grow, and it's sad. I just realized that the fact that most people tell you I need to change my surroundings. Mine were removed to become the person that I am. But then at the same time, like a couple years before D. Watkins was D. Watkins and I was Devin Allen, he was drinking real vodka. Like, fucking right? We're sitting in excess. He's drinking real vodka. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus because the vodka I had was a fifth and it was in a plastic bottle. I watched her squeeze it. And we had a conversation. I was like, yo, where you from? Yo, I'm over east, down the hill. I'm like, man, fuck that shit, nigga. I'm from over west. Yo, how you do da? Yo, over east dirty. You mad dirty. Y'all dirty. Like, y'all got couches. Y'all put the couch out on the corner and then post up. We don't do that. Y'all wear polo, we wear Lacoste. Like, this is different vibes out here, man. We had an argument. We've been friends ever since, but if you would have told me the fact that I'm sitting here getting interviewed by one of my closest friends, that was a pivotal moment in my life. That's how energy works, and I feel like a lot of us, what happens is the universe will give you a sign and we won't follow it. We fight it. And then you be like, I don't like this change, I don't like that. Every person that I have met on my journey played a pivotal moment, but I was walking into it. Like I told you about Regs, I remember, I want to start the art code, I want to be an artist, I gotta delete all my Instagram pictures and, I want to be an artist. But Humble is like, you don't know enough about art, you didn't go to school for art, you can't do photography, you're going to end up poor shit, you can't do photography, you're not going to be successful. Within that breath, before my best friends got killed, I remember after my friend, I was literally sitting in the row house that Regs had with my homeboy JR and Ace. They used to tattoo upstairs, and we would do hookah at night, and I would shoot in the joint on North Avenue. Shout out to gentrification, because they gentrified the building next to us, and then all the rats left the vacant and came into there, so they couldn't tattoo no more. On Norfolk Calvin, if you look, if you got money, it's a painting that I painted that's still in the window on Norfolk Calvin. My lights are still in there. If you want to buy that building and give it back, you'll do that thing. But I think Quandoni might have moved in that building that was gentrified. But
he look like a gentrified. Look at his hat. But I think one of the things that I would hope that everybody took from the exchange that we just had, and a lot of things that Devin said, is that you can do all of these amazing things. You can have all of these accomplishments. You can reach, you can do all of these things, and we're still not perfect. We're still trying to figure it out. Like, I was in Oprah magazine. He was on Oprah Westmore Sunday, Super Soul Saturday, whatever they're talking about. Like, we both, he's from West Baltimore. I'm from East Baltimore. We both got paid to go to Europe and Asia and to go all around the world as artists, but at the same time, we're still trying to figure it out, and there's nothing wrong with that. Healing is not something that you tweet about or post about or write about, and then it actually happens.
Healing comes in different ways. Like he said, we heal. Because D. Watkins hit me like, this meditation don't work. I sat here with my eyes closed, I took my socks off, it don't work. I'm like, bro, you gotta give it space. Like for me, like my mother got a green thumb, so I learned how to I'm about to sit here and
my thumb is green?
No, she know how to grow plants, but studying plants, I do crystals. Like being in this organization, I learned about meditation and how to use my Tibetan bowl, and I bang it. My neighbors be mad. I don't care. Get these vibes all day. Get these vibes real quick. It's for your heart chakra. Mine is getting to my heart chakra. Get these vibes. And the thing is about healing is understanding that you're broken in the first place. The thing is, no one realizes they're broken. Once you know you're broken, then you can put the pieces back together. But if you don't know you're broken, a lot of people don't want to realize the fact that, look, mentally, you're fucking broken. And like being and getting to the point where it's like, it's time to heal yourself. Right. Surround yourself with people that's healing. The people that I grew up with are dead. I got some other friends that's not doing too well. They still in the streets. But eventually I come through, I show love, I drop blessings. I give them jewels, they get inspired. But then I surround myself with good people. I got people like Benjamin. I got my boy back there that gave us the funding from Red Bull for me and him to teach kids off. This is real emotional, but he gave me funding. That's my guy with the shiny bald head. Just to put him on blast. I met him, and he said, I love what you're doing. Let's get this funding. So I taught a class on Pennsylvania Avenue with D. Watkins. And, he taught creative writing skills and I taught photography. They bought them cameras. We both gave all the kids free books. It was so amazing. And I remember getting ready to go photograph. Gunshots rang out before we started class. The kids wanted to, go photographing. So I'm not gonna, me as an artist, I reflect on life. So everything you see, that's me reflecting on who I am and what I see every day and what I've grown to be. And I remember, no, I'm not going to deny you and tell you that's negative, because it's not negative. That's another thing. We label things. We want to tell something that's negative. You just don't like it. You don't understand it. It's not negatives. I tell people all the time, start telling, I don't like that. That's cool. That's your opinion. But that doesn't mean it's negative. The way that we live in the hood, the people that grow up in the hood and do the things they do, that's not negative. That's their life. You just don't understand it. Stop labeling it negative or positive because you don't even understand how energy even works for you to label it. You just don't understand it and just say that that's okay. Let's educate you. So I remember photographing this crime scene. You know, the door open, body dead, you know, yellow tape everywhere, you know. Go to sleep, wake up, and then, you know, I look on, it's Murder Inc. You know, and it's sad because that's part of my depressions because I check Murder Inc. to see if any of my friends or my cousins or any of the homies are on this page.
I hate that I check Murder Inc. every 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's better than me not knowing when I run into a person and it's like, oh yeah, you know, you got killed 2 years ago. I checked the Murder Inc. page and there's Lord Dell from up off Garrison.
For y'all who don't know, Murder Inc. is a page on Instagram that reports murders like by the minute.
But it ain't respectfully. It ain't. Baltimore Ceasefire pays homage. Shout out to her.
Yeah, definitely. Big love to Erica.
Big love to Erica. That was my mama know when she sent me to Rosa Parks St. Ambrose on Park Heights. That was my kindergarten teacher. So it's lit.
No, she's amazing. But we gotta open it up because time is ticking.
It's my birthday. Can I finish my story?
Go ahead. You was filming. You was on Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah, dress shoes and jeans on. You was taking photos.
Go. First, so you want to just label me as Jamal Bryant? That's my guy, but I don't wear nothing boot cut. I'm saying. My man got boot cut dress pants. That's my guy, but I need someone to get him up on his fashion. Preach the Lord, but I need you to not have a boot cut dress pants.
Jesus wore boot cut.
Jesus wore sandals and straight legs, and I'm just going to leave it at. But no, long story short, my kids photographed the crime scene of my friend. And I didn't know it was my friend. And I got on Murder Inc. And I thought it was my friend. And how small Baltimore is and how Baltimore works. Because a lot of people don't know how Baltimore really works. So, Dell was killed on Pennsylvania Avenue. We photographed his crime scene. He has a son by Brittany, also from up Garrison Liberty Heights. I went to high school with. She was my best friend. I hooked her up with my best friend. He got killed after they had a son. So now you're dealing with my childhood best friend. Both our son's fathers are dead to gun violence. And that's something that, as an artist, that's what I had to digest every single day. The fact that Dell, who was my friend, and then my best friend, both of them had the same. Her kids are by these two different guys that I met in two different stages of my life, and she had to bury both of them to gun violence. And that's what I deal with. So when people talk about Baltimore being complex, it's a whole nother level of being complex that you don't understand the fact that when we come from these parts of these cities, the fact that our parents grew up, you know, I love East Baltimore. I just don't like it because my father's from East Baltimore and I really don't like my father. So I don't like East Baltimore. But my father's from Green Mountain. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, that's how small Baltimore is. You know, so when you come into these spaces and you're not from these spaces, and that's my biggest thing because we got to end this, but I'm going to keep it 100, is people in these spaces that everybody is in this room. I move totally different than I moved when I was younger, so I'm very more impactful. But the thing is, the fact that you're in this room and you know how impactful I am to come support me, you and yourself are impactful. So I need you to understand how you move, the people you say hello to, the people that you speak to on a regular day basis. Respect them. Because at the end of the day, healing is loving others. So at the end of the day, I had this, you know, and I talked about me being suicidal, you know, and I break it down because at the end of the day, yeah, I am weak. I don't have a problem breaking down. My mother had to call the police on me because I wanted to kill myself, and I was arrested and put into the hospital. My father was already in Shepherd Pratt for finding out he's bipolar. Left Shepherd Pratt and came and got me and told me that I might be bipolar. That I might suffer from depression. And this was right after I took the time cover. So if that's me, that's the thing, at my pivotal moment, I was the weakest. When I came out that hospital, my mother, my aunt, my grandma, my whole family was there. They didn't judge me because I didn't understand what I was going through. I had to digest the world and understand the fact that, you know, I went from being something aspiring to be to being great. And I felt all these emotions I didn't understand. And I'm still struggling with it. But I'm at my proudest moment because now I'm comfortable in the space that I can talk about it. We had yoga in the space with Lenise. I sat on the same seat, and talked about my suicidal tendencies with some activists that I was on the ground with. I didn't know they was going through the same thing. Right. We all went together. That's what healing is. It's about being vulnerable, but also understand that we all come from different walks of life. We deal with the same shit every single day. We just digest it differently. All right.
Amen. Clap, come on. We have time to take a few questions if anybody wants to talk about anything with healing or Devin's journey.
I'm sorry I was late too. I was at Under Armour and I was fake working. I was drinking IPAs. I'm sorry, but
once you start drinking IPA, you healed already.
Couldn't leave my cold.
You healed already. He's healed. He's healed. He's drinking IPA. He's healed. Speaking of healing,
yeah, I want to take some questions. I really want to hear, ask me anything. I'm an open book right now. Give her the mic because she hopped up
I'm ready.
Like Mario.
So clearly, photography is something that you do and something that you do very well. I feel like I feel you in this room. What made you go down to the riots and start taking pictures?
Because nobody can do what I can do. no, for real. The thing is, that's again, the Baltimore being so small. So Freddie Graves from Gilmore Homes. So Party Artie was his homeboy. That's my homeboy. He got killed. KS, I do parties with him. He from Gilmore Homes. That's my guy. And my friend Kiana, who I went to school with, this better not be teleported. But Kiana, her photo is somewhere on the wall. And we went to Forest Park High School together. She recorded the video of Freddie Gray. I can hear her screaming in the back, his leg broke. His leg broke. I didn't even know that was her. Until I went down Gilmore Homes looking for Kevin Moore. His photo's over there, he's touching the mural. He's touching the mural of Freddie Gray. That's who recorded the other angle of the video. She got one side, he got the other side. No one can tell the story better. I knew that every person with a camera was going to look for that pain. I've never seen my city so unified. And I wanted to make sure that I document everything and also tell a real story. I feel like as artists, we are obligated to reflect what's around us. If you look at the Harlem Renaissance and the Billie Holidays and the Gil Scott Herons and the Nina Simone, we owe that. Because when you think about it, you look at Malcolm X and MLK, imagine if they had social media.
Dr. Max Friday, wow. I think about Tupac on Twitter.
Imagine
Tupac on Twitter fuck Trump.
Just think about it. Just think about it. This society is built on the destruction of others, but what happens is the social media is something that the system wasn't ready for. So now you got to think about it. They killed Malcolm X, they killed MLK, they killed our leaders. Now with social media, you are a leader. You're a leader. You're a leader. We're all leaders. You have a voice. No, I knew with social media that you cannot shut me up. So I just dedicated my page to Freddie Gray. With social, I know Facebook. I don't get on Facebook because my mama and my grandmother and all of them be on Facebook. I can't do it.
Mothers love Facebook.
But that's why I did what I did, because I knew if I could get to social media, my work would flow. The pictures are clear, the pictures are sharp. I got an amazing eye. That boy's on point. But at the end of the day, as an artist, as a human being, I was obligated. That's the simple fact. As an artist, with a platform and with a camera, I am obligated to do what I did. And it's just that simple. It's not a hard question. I'm just obligated to do that.
Thank you.
I like them pants. Them pants are hot.
Thank you. So my question is, because you are such an amazing photographer, thank you very much. And because of the city that we live in, and unfortunately we're plagued by violence, more often gun violence, my question is, how do you process when you're reintroduced to trauma in your process of healing?
Process of healing, good question. Like, the sad part about it is, like, I'm used to death. Death doesn't faze me. I don't fear it. I don't think about it. By the time I was 25, I stopped counting. I know for sure a lot of my 20 plus more friends are dead. Like, I'm 30. A lot of my homies didn't make it this far. You know, that's why today is a blessing. You know, and it's not really about me. Sometimes I don't really think about like how my mother had to watch me process all that. Because she's from a different time. You know, they used to fight back then. You might get stabbed. You know, stuff like fist fight. You know, and she talk about time like being shot was like, no, you don't do that. You know, so like my biggest thing is like I watch my mother process me crying to the point I don't do funerals because I feel like they're meaningless. When a person dies, I don't know what to do. My biggest thing is like, how can I save more lives? How can I change more lives? You know, like I was with Spike Lee last night. You know, we was out there jigging and jiving. Like, if you gotta leave Baltimore, you gotta make these moves. And I'm like, it's not that time yet. Because I want to be a virus in my community. I want to be effective. I want to really change some shit. I really want kids to be like, yo, you used to hustle? You start taking pictures? Yo, but you was a spoiled little motherfucker. You know, you had, you know, and it's like, yeah, I've seen it all. City, county, whatever you want to talk about, I did it. From the mud.
That's one quality you had. Ever since I knew you, like, before you was a man, you always, like, thought you was. I was admired by that. Like, he always had, he had a big, he was ready for the stage before he ever got the stage. It's like, who is this motherfucker that asked me where I'm from? Motherfucker.
That's that West Bar.
Like,
You gotta be tough and strong.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
All right, first I was
Donnie, don't ask no questions. Sit your ass down. I know you be my homeboy. You cannot ask me no questions.
Go ahead, Mark.
My whole thing was talking about mental disorders. Like, what you talking about having
A mental disorder?
Yeah.
All right, so when you talk about mental disorder, like you can talk about autism, you can talk about intellectual disabilities. So before, like my guy Ray's, we worked with young men, two brothers and their homeboy that had intellectual disabilities, autism, nonverbal, low on the spectrum. So me, I suffer from anxiety, depression, and I'm possibly bipolar. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I know these things, but I study these things, I learn these things. So now we label these things instead of trying to heal these things. So when you think about it, when you go to school, they put you in what's it called? Special needs. You have special needs. Yo, you don't need special needs.
So a lot of kids with behavioral problems are placed in classes with students that have intellectual disabilities, and it shouldn't be like that.
Is my brother here? All right, good. So my brother got lead paint poisoning. That's my right hand man. So him having lead paint poisoning affects his thought process. So therefore, he gets agitated. He's very aggressive, and all these other different type of things. And he has ADHD. That's caused by lead paint poisoning. So when we start talking about mental disorders, it's understanding the fact that these are people that just didn't get help because we learn differently.
I was talking about you. I'm from East Baltimore. I know about that.
Oh shit! Oh, you talking about me? Oh, I ain't know. I don't know. I saw the V-neck and I was like, yo, you from Baltimore?
It's a polo. It's a polo.
All right, yeah. You got 3 in the pack too. You got 3 in the pack.
He's like, it's a polo.
No, yeah. So I suffer from depression. My personal, I have anxiety. I suffer from depression. Those are things that I deal with. I don't fight it. I encourage it, and I digest it. So when I go through phases with today, I didn't want to come in here today. You know, I didn't want to come in. You know, I didn't want to come in and just, I got to come in here. I don't really want to come, but I had to come because it was needed. So I put down 2 IPAs and I manned up.
But for the people from East Baltimore, can you talk about what an IPA is? I mean, really for me, I don't know.
It's Indian Pale Ale. It's a beer, and it's really strong.
It's the official beer. It's the official beer. Gentrified. You like a Two more questions. 2 more, Green.
Let me do 3. It's my birthday.
3 more. 3 more.
Hi, I'm right here. My name's Alon. Hi, Devin. Hi, Dee. So yeah, I just want to say how, I guess it's really not a question, just how thankful I am for your presence on the scene as a multi-hyphenate creative, someone who's working with nonprofits, blah, 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 all that kind of shit. Right before I came here, I was at this like rooftop event, and I was like zoned the fuck out, because I was like, I don't want to be here, there's all these black upper echelon people.
What rooftop was you at?
It was some gentrified ass roof over East Baltimore, you know. It was like, I could see my house on Elwood from there, and I was like, I'm confused. Basically just how thankful I am, because I'm sorry, I can't help telling jokes. Yeah, it's the truth though. But I was like, yeah, I kind of can't wait to be in this space. But then again, I get here and, you know, sometimes you don't feel as comfortable in every space, and we're like, we're supposed to be healing these spaces, etc. So, you know, I put down a sangria just like you put down your IPA, all that good stuff, you know, just to get in the space, get in the mood, start talking to people and schmoozing and telling them about healing and all that good stuff. But it's not as easy as it looks to sit in these microphones and on these panels. So I just want to say I feel for that. And as someone who lost their father to drug overdose in middle school and just completely shutting down up until, you know, that moment when the uprising, riot, whatever you want to call it, happened. I remember at that time being really young, being in a marriage that eventually failed, and I was living in Houthorpe at the time, thought I was a county girl, had a nice car, had all that nice shit. I'm originally from the Bronx, but I grew up here in Baltimore. The day the riot happened, I was in this corner on Howard Street with my fucking yoga mat, clenching that shit, scared, looking at my brothers and my sisters scared. And it's a story that I try to tell, because a lot of people say they was on the ground, but they was really just out there scared. And a lot of us were just scared of what we were seeing, but I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys were able to find triumph in this story and all that good shit. And I like seeing y'all on the weekends at the Crown, around the way, just on the stage, you know, getting bucked or whatever. That's cute. So I'm thankful for y'all. That's all I wanted to say. I love y'all, Baltimore. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And I just want to say real quick, don't feel bad about the marriage thing, because most of them fail, but like 77%. But outside of that, one thing that I feel like, you know, not speaking for Devin, but I feel like we agree on this, is that, again, healing is a journey. In life, you will get bumped and bruised all of the time, and you have to work hard. So when you think you got all of this stuff figured out, you'll have like a new problem and a new issue, and then you'll have to figure that out too. So it's nothing wrong with starting from scratch. It's nothing wrong with trying to rebuild. It's nothing wrong with feeling like you have everything put together and then you got to stop and do it all over again. Because guess what? That's called being a human. And if you don't believe in humanity, then you won't get it. You'll always feel like you are. Go ahead.
Hey, bro, so I want y'all to basically touch on how you spoke about earlier. You were saying how you can't just drink like a smoothie and a kombucha in New York. But real shit though, because it's like Devin say he can't even count how many friends Jordan lost. You, me, there's so many people in here that can't count that. But it's somebody on the outside that'll just automatically tell somebody, oh, you should do this. You should do that, when so many things that we dealing with is undiagnosed. Like, okay, you don't have bipolar, you don't have this, but who knows what the fuck it is called when you done lost 30 friends and you only 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? So can y'all basically like talk to those people, and also looking at mental health from, you know, a broader, you know, eagle eye, opposed to, you know, making it black and white, because you got that little boy, and I'm gonna just bring it up, the dude who got charged for killing that police officer, right? People will, in this room, will label him a criminal, but nobody's gonna look at the mental health aspect of what even made him put himself in that situation. So can y'all touch on that?
Yeah, let's touch on it, man. Like, it's like, I ain't gonna cry, but yo, bro, you know, you my bro, like, so it's like, you know, we had these talks all the time about losing people, but now you gotta really just look at society. They glorify serial killers. Yeah. Yo, they glorify it. They get movies, they get all that. That's a part of American history. They glorify Jeffrey Dahmer. He was eating motherfuckers. And it's like, yo, I get so frustrated because it's like, yo, I know serial killers. I got homeboys that's addicted to killing other people. But because it's like, at the end of the day, is when you look at it, we live in the jungle. Baltimore is a jungle. The hood is a jungle. It's survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. You put 2 cages, you put 2 tigers, and you know what, 1 piece of meat, you starve them and throw them in the cage, what happens? You start eating yourself. You start eating something you ain't even meant to eat. And that's what we're doing. We're in a space where it's like, you starve us to the point where, I'm to the point where I have to kill you because I feel like you're taking food out of my mouth. And that's the thing with the block. That's why selling drugs in the track is so dangerous, because it's like, we selling drugs, we getting money, but I feel like you're slowing me down, so let me kill you so I can move forward. But at the same time, that's why it's called a track, because it's been organized that it's a recycling effect. The pain gets more pain, and the pain gets more pain. So like, when you think about it, you might say, for instance, like, she lost her father to being an addict, right? Let's say she lost her father to being an addict, and she ended up dating something that she hates, because it's all that she identified with. And then you go to a space where she's dating a drug dealer because she hated an addict. You're dating a drug dealer, and then you have a kid by a drug, and this effect that we go into the cycle where we glorify these things, and then they make this music. And I know a lot. I saw an article recently talking about hip hop is not bad. Yeah, it don't affect your kid because your kid living in the suburbs better than the hood. When we popping our pills and all that thing, I broke my hand in my mother couldn't find me. I was in the hospital because I broke my hand back in like 2000. I was fighting down in Paradox, and she couldn't find me. But I had to wing my
the common denominator.
I was on Percocets, and I found myself addicted to Percocets. I wanted more, and I wanted more, and I wanted more. But to get more, what did I have to do? I had to sell more what I was selling to get more what I was doing. It's a recycling effect. So when you look at Baltimore, the heroin capital, the murder capital, the home of the wire, and a place where they have John Hopkins and all these places have really created a system that really works. Baltimore is moving fine. It ain't moving fine for us, but the system that has been created is moving perfectly fine. They good with putting people in spaces. So at the end of the day, it's like we move in spaces where we have to struggle. We don't understand how to get out of this space. So like being an activist, what is an activist? You know, what is moving in these spaces? You know, we have to learn how to really digest and really realize that Baltimore is not broken, that it's fixed and it's perfectly fine.
If I was going to respond to your question, I would basically say I think we live in a culture of perfection. Like, all of us consume social media all day long, and we see all of these fake realities of these people who pretend to be...
I miss MySpace.
Yeah.
I need my top 5 back, my real friends.
We got all of these people that pretend to be healers, pretend to be connectors, pretend to love black people, pretend to just be connected to all of these different things, pretend to fucking drink kombucha. They posted the same bottle 8 weeks consecutively. You know what I'm saying? So you live in this culture of hyper pretenders, and people subscribe to that, and that's why we keep trying to hone in on this whole idea of healing being a journey. Like, some great stuff happened to me yesterday, and then some like fucked up stuff happened to me 2 days ago, but then something great is gonna happen to me tonight. And then maybe something else bad might happen tomorrow. But at the end of the day, we have to constantly understand that that's what life is. You know, you
life is about finding balance. Stuff and you gotta find. It's not about like everybody's like everything's supposed to go good. Life is about finding balance in between. You don't want to be. It's not about being negative or positive. It's not none of that. You find balance in between everything. Find that calm. You know, we stop fighting. You know, find that calm. Find your true calling. Society, that's the biggest thing with society. They hit you with bills. When you get born, they slap you with a social security number and then tell you you're a slave and you don't realize you're a slave. You got a barcode. Work this debt off from the United States of America, please. Yeah, and if you live in a corporation, thank you.
If you guys want to learn more about this stuff, we both have books for sale. What's the next question?
My book doesn't talk nothing about what I'm talking about.
I wrote in your book, so I know there's some shit in there.
He gentrified my book. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I guess it's me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe. Hey, D. Hey,
Yeah,
Devin.
she be on the ground. That's a real one right there. She's on the ground. Shout out to you. I marched with you. I just want to give blessings
Thank you.
on the ground. Real
I
one.
just wanted to call everybody's attention real quick to a photograph over here. You might not understand what you're seeing in the picture, but it's actually somebody who's been exposed to chemical weapons and somebody's cleaning their eyes. That's an eye wash. A lot of people don't know that during the uprising that I created the emergency response rapid medical team on the ground. We had a clinic a block away from 10 North every day, and we had pop-up clinics around the city. Since then, anytime there's direct action in the Baltimore area, DMV, all the way down to J20, when people were protesting against Trump, we were there. After all the different things that have happened as far as like disaster relief in Texas and Puerto Rico, some of us have been there. Also served in Standing Rock as well. So I teach a basic protest and health and safety training, a 20-hour street medic, and I do a bridge training for healthcare professionals that are interested in doing international humanitarian aid. Thank you.
Can I have one moment of silence? So the photo that I took, the guy that was getting maced passed away. You know, and it's photos on this wall that's in my book of people that died. And it really hurts because I photograph these people and I feel connected to them. So I just want to have a moment of silence for Pablo, who was getting maced on the front lines, who passed away, was hit on a bike in New York, activist from Philadelphia. I want to have a moment of silence for Rico, has his hands up, from West Baltimore, friends of Freddie Gray, who was shot and killed in 2016. I want to have a moment of silence for Tully, you know, Mr. 103, you know, the big time boxer coming out of Baltimore that was shot and killed. I just want to have a moment of silence because I need you to understand this is life, this is art, but we live this every single day. And I just get a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I just want to give them a round of applause one more time.
Like, if you got any questions, because I was late, so I'm gonna hang out as long as I can before I get too late. I'm gonna answer any questions. I'm hanging out. I'm vibing. I feel like I'm around family and I'm having a good time. So if you have any questions, don't.
And it's his birthday.
Yo, and everybody, it's my birthday and take mad pictures, man.
And it's